beat, boy.
How's it going, everybody? Double Coverage Pod here with Seth and I was going to use
John.
Sorry, John J. the second.
Hey, I thought you were going to say my name.
No, I was leading in with a little bit too much emotion right there. How's it going, everybody? We are here week 15. Yes, sorry, I almost second-guessed myself. We are here. We got the Eagles live right now versus the Redskins, as well as we have the Rams versus Seahawks, and that is disappointing me because I had money on the over, a $1,700 payout coming my way on that one. So that's heartbreaking, and the Eagles are really playing with my heartstrings here, only up by 3 points right now with our playoff hopes and dreams hanging in the balance. But we'll start off the week. We had the Chiefs beat the Chargers in overtime. I think that was a pretty intense game as well as exciting to watch. What do you think about that one, John?
Yeah, that was a really interesting game. The battle of the quarterbacks really seen, and I think everyone really saw the Patty Mahomes that we all, were waiting to see the entire year, the dominant offense. And we saw a lot of that from Justin Herbert and the Chargers as well. So it was a battle of the offenses and seeing which defense could really stop that, high momentum offense from scoring touchdowns. And it really went down to the wire as we saw. But, hats off to Travis Kelce, 3 scores, 2 of those being TDs, 1 being a 2-point conversion, really laying it all out there on the field. So you got to give it up for Travis Kelce and that Chiefs offense for getting the job done.
For sure. We had the Pats lose to the Colts. The Colts put up a good game there, as well as the Steelers taking on the Titans and handling them. I had some people pick the Titans. I kind of saw the Steelers pulling that one out. And then we had John's Bills handle the Panthers pretty easily in a bounce-back game. I saw that one coming. I had the over on that one across the board and a couple parlays. John, that one probably had to have you pretty excited.
Yeah, it did. I called him this before. Cam Newton is a has-been quarterback. We've seen him come back in his first game. He played very well. Every game after that, it's pretty much a lot of the same. The same Cam Newton that we saw at the Patriots and even at the tail end before he moved to the Patriots when he was at the Panthers and got canned from there. So it's just a has-been team. The Buffalo Bills really came out. Josh Allen and that Bills offense came out and performed in the red unis. It was a beautiful sight to see, and I was happy to see my Bills win that one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was good.
We had the Texans beat the Jaguars. That was the Battle of the Shit Bowl.
Just the toilet bowl. The toilet bowl. Yeah. Battle of the teams with 11 losses. So you put them in the same category as even the Lions, the Jets. And it's just there's these teams that just haven't seemed to figure it out, and they haven't really caught their groove. And you got to give. I guess you got to give a little bit of slack to the Jacksonville Jaguars with the whole Urban Meyer thing and them releasing him without even him, fulfilling an entire season. Usually teams wait till the end of the season. They're like, no, we're going to cut him off before the end of the season. So they obviously made their decisions, and Shad Khan had to make a decision there, and I think it was for the best. So kind of an unfortunate series of events for Urban Meyer supporters, but he's all over the place. He's got to figure his life out before he figures anything coaching wise out.
Yeah, I think he would have went straight to a college team if they would have done this earlier. If he would have had time, I think USC would have offered him the job, and he would have took it still, even with all this scrutiny. USC, I feel like of all schools, definitely would have. Actually, live update, we have Eagles just scored a touchdown there, up 27-17 on Washington. That one was a passing touchdown from Jalen Hurts to Greg Ward Jr.
Yeah, them Eagles, man, they had me worried there early in this game because Washington came out, I think, put 10 on them in the first quarter. Philly came back and responded going into halftime, tying it up at 10. But these Eagles, they look like they're showing some tenacity. We're finally seeing Jalen Hurts play some football. I mean, I don't know. This is a long time coming, at least for me, from what I expected of Jalen Hurts so far. I think the Eagles should definitely have a winning record by this point in the season instead of fighting for playoff position. But, it is what it is. They got to work with what they got right now. So it's just, battle until the finish.
I like him. He just needs to develop an arm. His arm's worse than Lamar Jackson's, even, so it's nerve-wrenching.
Yeah, well, I see, and even if his arm's bad, take control on the ground,
Right.
and that's something we haven't really seen him do either until late. Last few 2-3
Yeah.
games, we've seen him start to take control in the run game, put the ball in his hands, and just really just start running with it. Find that opening. We've seen unathletic quarterbacks be very versatile in open space. So Jalen Hurts, being an athletic quarterback, needs to find that open space and utilize the gifts that he has more often to get the ball down the field for Philly.
100%, 100%. And then we had the Cowboys handle the Giants. I think everybody saw that one coming. Miami handled the Jets barely. It was a close game. Jets were actually up in the beginning. I was surprised about that. And then we had the Cardinals go down to the Lions. John, what do you think about that?
Damn, dude. Everyone's asking me about this. Oh, man, how about them Lions? They just beat a 10-3 team. And hats off to the Lions, Dan Campbell and the entire Lions regime. I got to take my hat off, and I'm going to do it literally right now here on the live show for everybody, all the Lions fans out there. I still not going to claim. I released a tweet actually on Sunday commending the Lions and what it took to really put together a strong offensive and defensive performance, a very well-rounded performance from this Detroit Lions team. Something like we've never seen out of this team, not even in spurts. We've seen it in a full game on Sunday. We haven't even seen it in spurts ever, this entire season, not even in exhibition games. So I think it really speaks to the players and how they respect Dan Campbell and this entire coaching staff. And they respect the mission. They know where they're at. They're in a tough position being a Detroit Lion, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're a GM, what your organization has been known for the past, several decades. So if you can do what you have to do to, get yourselves out of that mentality, get yourself out of that stigma, and put together a good game, a well-rounded game against a great team, then hats off to you. I got to give you credit. It's not like we're talking about a scrub team or a mid-tier team. The Cardinals are, they're looked at before this game, one of the best teams in the NFL. Some shaky performances here and there and some losing streaks, but still sitting at 10-3, now 10-4. And they're still strong contenders going into the playoffs. So huge win for the Lions.
Yeah, the thing about this game too is the Cardinals haven't beat the Lions in 5 years now. They've lost
Wow.
They have 1 tie and 4 losses in 5 years with the Lions. So
that's a staggering statistic. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. The Lions got the Cardinals numbers for some reason. I almost put money on this game before. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna put big money on it. But I was gonna put like $25 just on the money line, just a straight up, not a parlay or nothing. Just try to double the money or whatever it would have done. I think you would have probably got like $75 back off that, or maybe even more. But yeah, it was the Lions. Just I don't know why they just had the Cardinals number.
Yeah, that's crazy. They had their number. They went out, executed, and they held it the entire game. It's not like they just let off the gas in the third quarter when they're up 20 points. It's like they were going to keep the pedal to the metal, held them to 12, and put up 30 on them, and with an interception there too. And just a great performance, man. It was fun to watch, actually. Something that you're not really expecting to see going into a Lions performance on any given day. So it was a wake up call, I think, for Lions fans. It made them happy, and whatever it takes. I talked about this to some other people on Sunday and even Monday about playing for draft position. I guess, Seth, let me ask you this: at what point in the season do you decide to play for draft position? Because it's hard to go into a game saying, you know what, guys, we got to throw this game. We got to get the first round draft pick, because nobody's going to do that. No coach in their right mind is going to do that. They want to go out. They want to win. And I talked some shit about Adam Gase last year, the previous Jets coach, for winning a game. I forgot who they played. I think it was the Giants or something. So they played somebody and beat them. And it was considerable. It was kind of a surprising thing. But that basically gave up Trevor Lawrence to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the first pick. I guess, how do you consider that, late in the season when you're playing for, you got to win games, you want to win games for your own self-esteem, but when do you start to decide to play for draft position? When do you decide that?
Yeah, I think Adam Gase. I think he kind of knew he wasn't going to be there long term. Sorry. If I was a head coach, I know I'm going to be there, and I know I'm rebuilding, and there's a player I want. I'm not going to win the game. I'm not going to win the game. I'm going to lose it on purpose.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If I wanted somebody in the first overall pick, and I know I wanted him, and I want him to be my quarterback, I'm gonna go out there with the intention to win. But if I see some things start making us look like we're going to lose, I mean, do you want to play? I mean, as an owner, the owner probably would tell the coach. I mean, if I was the owner, from a businessman standpoint, if I was the owner and my team needs that number one overall pick or win this one random game in a season that I already know we're tanking, why would you want that? Like overall, you know what I mean? Just think about it. Me personally,
no, yeah, I see
the integrity of the game, yada yada. So I wouldn't go out there in the first quarter and blow it. Or if you have a 28-point lead, by no means do you give up the lead on purpose. But if you're down 0-14, 0-20, if you're down if you're down by 14 points or more going into halftime, I'm going to say like, okay, we get the first overall pick if we lose this game.
Yeah.
We don't if we win. We might as well just let this 0-14 down. Like, at halftime, I'm not going to give the most inspirational speech at halftime.
Exactly right.
I'm not going to tell the players to give it up, but I'm not going to like, guys, let's go win. I mean, I'm going to come up with something in between those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're kind of going into the game. I guess this is how I would do it if I was playing for draft position. I wouldn't go out there and intentionally throw the game. But, if we're down, like you said, 14, 21, 14 points, 21 points, something like that, then I'm not going to go to the ends of the earth to come back in that game. I'm not going to, pull out crazy, 911 maneuvers to make that game go in my favor. I'm going to just kind of play it chill, just say, all right, guys, just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe get a little bit animated, throw the headset a couple of times on the sidelines, but I'm not going to go to the ends of the earth, moving players around and things like that. To come back and win games like that, those games that really don't do a whole lot for you in that season. You got to be playing for the future. You got to be looking at the structure of the team, and that will essentially be the building blocks for the future of the team, for the future of the franchise, for, how attractive it is to come out of college and be like, you know what, I want to get drafted to the Lions, or I want to get drafted to the Jets. You got to build that mentality, and that takes time to do. So it's definitely more worth it, I think, to build for the long term instead of playing for the short term to win
100%
unimportant games.
100%. And if you're a coach, if you have that kind of respect with the owner, if you're going to be there long term and stuff, I'm sure most of them that are there long term, we're going to have a relationship with them to develop whatever they're going to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we had 49ers beat the Falcons. And then we had the close one with Lamar Jackson's backup playing for the Ravens, which was surprising. You even texted me mid-game about how well he was doing, and I was like, wow, I had to look it up mid-game because I wasn't around, and I was like, Jesus, that's very surprising.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley, man. Tyler Huntley, he played very well. He really showed me a lot of tenacity. For a lot of the game, I thought that was Lamar out there, and he was using his legs, and he was, using the pass game.
He was
very versatile. A great backup for Lamar. I mean, for him being out. But I got to talk about this with you, Seth. How do you think about, or what do you think about the call that John Harbaugh made to go for 2? He was in the same situation. I believe it was last week. Was he in this situation last week? He played.
Yeah, it was last week or the week before. I think it was last week. But off the top of my head, it was your last week, the week before. Me personally, I do it every time with how the NFL overtime.
Oh, really?
If you lose,
you go for 2 every time.
Just with how the NFL set up, yeah. I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, no, if you're at college where you each get a chance to every time, yes, I would not then. But if you're how the NFL is set up, if you lose the coin toss and their team scores, you don't even get a chance. So do I want to trust 2 yards with my NFL team, caliber team, playoff caliber team, or do I want to gamble with a coin toss?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I never really thought of that different perspective. And I think it's got to be somewhat of John Harbaugh's mentality going into that play, because they tried to draw him off sides. They had a chance, they had a timeout that got called. Go back to the huddle. Now we can make another decision. Now we can be like, all right, guys, it was ambitious to get him to jump right there, but we're going to go for the kick. We're going to go for the overtime. But no, they come back out with the offense, go for 2. They don't get it. And I guess you gotta respect the call to a certain extent. You gotta respect John Harbaugh for the call, because you don't want to go against. You really don't want to put your defense up against Aaron Rodgers in overtime. You just don't want to do that.
Like post game, like he said, it's like you don't get he pretty much said you don't get a chance if you lose the coin toss. I mean, unless if you stop them, which is again you're playing the Packers. Good luck. I mean, You know what I mean? And you have a backup quarterback. Do you want to, even if you stop them, they kick a field goal? Do you want to have your backup quarterback go against the Packers defense, which I know he's playing good all game, but that doesn't matter about that drive. Do you want him to go, your backup quarterback to go against the Packers to have to score, or do you want him to try to get a 2-yard play into the touchdown? Like he said, analytics probably were on his side anyways, but not even that. It's just how the NFL's overtime is set up. I've been saying for at least 10 years of my life that they need to change that. Doesn't make any sense.
You think there should be a rebuttal clause in there for
both teams should get a chance no matter whether you score a touchdown or a field goal? Because right now, if you kick a field goal, the other team gets a chance to score. Right now, if you score a touchdown, their team doesn't get a chance at all. It doesn't even really make sense.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely different than college, because no matter if you score a touchdown, both teams get a drive to do whatever they want, and then that third drive, if say I guess if it's tied, it's basically like a back and forth situation. So say
college, you go until somebody doesn't score, right?
I think they do. I think there's they keep going. There's multiple overtimes in college as well, where in NFL there's only one segment. If it ends in a tie, it ends in a tie. So I think there is some adjustment in the works, or should be in the works. I don't think it's in the works, but it should be in conversations to change that. I would support that.
I said it's just crazy that you don't even get a chance. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Live update: Rams handled the Seahawks, end of the game 20-10. I officially lost out on that parlay literally just because of that. But again, that's one out of my 6 picks didn't hit. I can't blame yourself for that one either. A Seahawks Rams game, the over not hitting. I mean, everybody predicted the over. I think from any perspective you looked at that game, no one predicted that to be a defensive battle. We had the Raiders barely beat the Browns 2 points. I think that's a battle of the mediocre teams as well. I don't know what the Browns are going to do. Like I said, they've definitely improved themselves from when they were a no-win team and everything like that, or a 1 to 3 win team. They were that for so many years. But at some point, you got to do something to break through that one first round and out, or barely making the playoffs. You have to level up one more time and go into the late playoffs, if not the Super Bowl even. People were saying they should have been a Super Bowl caliber team before the season, and they just were not at all. Next up, we had the Vikings handle the Bears. That one is a battle of the NFC. Not really anything happened there. The Vikings are battling for playoff wildcard spot against the Eagles, but with the Eagles winning tonight too, they stay neck and neck. And then we had the Saints handle the Bucks. John, what did you think about that game?
I was kind of hoping you didn't bring that game up, but I really wanted to talk about it. So I'm kind of torn between it. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to bite the bullet here. Other than Chris Godwin getting injured on, that questionable defensive, maneuver to get him down, I think, that's just from a defensive standpoint, you should not be going, because I don't know who the defender was, but he was going to injure. His efforts were to injure Chris Godwin.
That's Saints' reputation long term, anyways.
And if that's the cutthroat mentality you want to promote in your team, then that's fine.
No, I don't know if you remember, Sean Payton was suspended for that for a whole season before, for paying players to target players to hurt.
Well, then Sean Payton must have been in someone's ear, even if he was out with COVID protocols. He must have been talking to someone on these sidelines. But the Saints defense, they got it done against Tom Brady. But bottom line, regardless of the bullshit and all the dirty plays and whatever, they really, with taking out Chris Godwin, if they were targeting him to get him injured and put him out of the game, they did a good job at that. They succeeded. And that's essentially taking away one more of Tom Brady's weapons. And the more weapons you take away down the field, the more powerful your defense is going to be against the pass game for the Bucs, and the weaker the offense is going to be for the Bucs. So
they did sign Le'Veon Bell today.
They did. That is breaking news. That just happened. So there'll be some information coming out about that on the Twitter waves and Instagram waves. So look out for that. But yeah, that's going to be a big signing. But they need to call in the reinforcements. They're going to have to start them. They're going to with Fournette likely being on IR, he's pretty much out. You got tons of players. You got a whole laundry list of players that are out. So you got to bring in the heavies. You got to bring in the backups, because with all the COVID stuff, with all the injuries that the Bucs are suffering, and the entire NFL is really suffering right now, you got to bring in some guys that might be more unconventional. It goes back to the thing that I say in the Gin College podcast every single week. You never know when your number is going to be called. So you have to be ready every single time your number gets called, because you never know. Your number's going to get called. You can be like, wait, what? My number? Oh, yeah, you want me on the field? Oh, okay. All right. I'm sitting here on my Microsoft Surface, right? Looking like Smitty. But then the next thing you know, you're on the field and you have to, go out there and execute. We've seen that happen time and time again, especially this season. And it's going to happen even more going into the playoffs. So it's just, it's the sentiment that's going on within the NFL right now. And I think that's something that's became a normal thing that we're going to have to live with.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's see this Eagles. Let's get a live update on this Eagles game real fast. I definitely think you're right with all that. I mean, with the next number of being up called, and you just have to always be ready. You're going to get called up. But Le'Veon Bell was trying to fight Jake Paul a week ago.
That is true. I mean, hasn't figured out what he really wants to do with his life yet. You got Frank Gore in the boxing ring as well.
Football. Well, I think the Eagles are going to handle this when we got 2 minutes left. Good job, Birds. I lost out on $1,700, but at least my Birds are still in the playoff contention.
Was that over the last leg you had to hit?
Yeah, that was
it. My God. No way.
Yeah.
But see, you look at the Rams. The Rams can put up 40, 50 points against, just by themselves.
Oh, yeah, that's why I said that wasn't anybody would have picked the over on that game. If you bet the under on that game, you're
playing with fire, and you're just hoping to get lucky.
Really predicted. It's been out for 4 days. He just got ruled out today, and Alex.
Yeah, so that's going to be an unfortunate thing.
Yeah, if you bet the under after that, then by all means. But I've had this over locked in a parlay for 5 days now, so.
Yeah, I agree. How about this, Seth? Let's announce some of our betting packages that will be coming out the first of the year. Maybe we can talk about that real quick before we sign off for today, and just kind of give people a precursor going into the new year for what to look out for.
Yeah, we're going to be having betting packages launch. There'll be a service. We're going to have you make sure you follow our Instagram. We're going to be launching it on there. It'll say monthly package. You get X amount of time of free. I'm leaving it kind of secretive so that we have to follow our Instagram to get it. At GSN, Gin Sports Network. That's actual Gin Sports Network is the @ you go on there. You'll see the betting packages. You'll see the week free. You'll see how you get it on the Discord. You'll see how all that goes forward. How it's going to be set up is a 1 to 2 pick a day setup. Bets are going to average $100 to $200, and what we're going to tell you. Again, you can always bet less than that. You don't have to bet every bet we suggest, but it's not going to be one of those parlays where we're just playing out shit picks and we pick. Hopefully you pick this one. Hopefully you don't pick that one if it hits. It's going to be every bet that we do. We are going to be backing fully and say we support this. We're going to provide it to you guys. So, I mean, in a week, our payouts are usually anywhere from $1,700 to $2,900. And even if you, let's say you lost one $100 bet every day, that's a $700 loss compared to a $1,700 payout minimum we've had in the past 6 weeks. So we've been doing really good. We got some packages coming out, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And we will be rocking and rolling from here on out with the first of the year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, like Seth mentioned, all these picks that we're going to be putting out, parlays, straight bets, they're all going to be cookie cutter bets that you got to take them, and they're going to be released at a certain time, previous to the game, prior to the game, and that'll be announced within the week. So make sure you're following all that information on the GSN IG. All of it will be released, as well as the Bet with Gin IG. There'll be a lot of posts that are shared and cross-promoted within the GSN and Bet with Gin. So make sure you're following all the IG posts that are going to be coming out in the next week and a half. But yeah, it's going to be really exciting. There's a lot of stuff dropping. Some of the stuff we can't even really announce. You're just going to have to wait till it comes out. But I'm excited, man. It's going to be great.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one. Can't wait for you guys to see it. We got a lot of new stuff coming out, website dropping as well. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But that's the Double Coverage Pod, everybody. This was Seth and John. Have a great night.
Peace out, guys.